Hi there, Fiona here. So the tool I chose to research this week is called Nearpod. It's an application that you can get on Android, Apple, and the internet. You can use it for a variety of different assessments because it is a very versatile tool. I'll show you how it works in a little bit. But there really isn't a limitation to what you can do with it. The limitations of using it would probably be that it typically requires a one-to-one use of technology in the classroom, so each kid having their own device. Some of the activities are in a share-pair kind of format, so you could do 2-to-1 if you wanted. Like I said, it's very versatile. You can even create your own lessons and your own assessments on here. Instead of using the ones that are provided. So the ones that are provided, as far as it costing money or being free, it is a mix. So if you were to look at just a group of lessons, you'll see that some of the lessons that are there say free underneath the name, and then some of them have a price. So if you wanted to use it 100% for free, you absolutely could. And otherwise, you could pay for additional content. If there is something that you want to create, you can always create your own version of what you saw that cost money. So, like I said, you really could use it for free if you want to. So we're going to use two examples and scenarios. The first example is the use of a lesson and assessment that's already set up. For this one, we'll use, I think, patterns. Here, I found it before. We'll use filters, first grade warm-ups. What is a pattern? So, initially, when you open it up, it does look like a PowerPoint presentation. Let's see. It shows our learning objectives and then has a list of activities that you can use. So in this activity, they'd fill in the blanks and just recognize the patterns for that. When you press done, it'll tell you how many you got right. We got 0 because we didn't put anything in. But that would be one of the activities. You could draw it. So this one is having them write the numbers in sequence. It has an instruction box right up at the top that you can drag up or down. And then they can use either their fingers or a stylus to write on here and just say, this is the way that the numbers are ordered. The cool thing about this is that this is real-time projected to the teacher on their app. So if you are the teacher in the classroom, you can see what everyone's doing on your app and see like them change their answers or do whatever it is that they're doing while they're working. This also will stay for you if you wanted to look at it after the fact to plan for later instruction. So this is an example of the Think, Pair, Share, one of the Think, Pair, Share activities. So you would be able to be with a partner and come up with the answer together. You can kind of change like the colors that you want. I can be like, I want to do that one and I want to do that one. But in the end, they would do the activity and say, I drew 5 circles because I noticed that after 2 there was 2 circles, after 3 there was 3 circles. So it's just all about recognizing patterns. But this is such a versatile tool. You can write text and say, I have 5 dots. You can add a picture. So I could be like, oh, I want to take a picture of something. And if you were doing an activity where they like had to show something that they did, they could take a picture of it on the table and add it onto a slide. So work in pairs. This is another type of activity that you can have on it. This one I was thinking when I saw it would be such a cool activity to do as the whole group, because it would have a lot of fun talking points. So this is a Venn diagram. Of course, we know what that is. I think it would be a really great way to have a group conversation about it. But if they wanted to do it independently, they could do it independently. So for this, they wanted you to put the circle in the right spot. We're going to find the red, and we're going to put the red circle right here. My beautiful red circle. So if you didn't find what you wanted in the Explore option, which there is so many options, you can see there's just a ton of different categories for different subjects of all kinds, and there's just like hundreds and probably thousands of different lessons for everything. So if you didn't find what you wanted there, you could create your own lesson, which I think is what makes it so versatile, is that you can cater it to exactly what you're looking for. So when you make a slide, you can either add content by creating like a different type of thing. Oh, that's another thing I wanted to talk about was the virtual field trip. So you can find a 360 photo and actually do a 360 like move around, so they can see these places in a 360. It'll move it around with their hands and their arms, so it'll actually change where you are. So you can add like a content slide with so many different options here. You can see just a few of them. And then you could add web content. There was a video a lesson that I saw that had a YouTube video that was embedded into the slide instead of just like a link. And then you can add activities, which we did a couple of them. We saw the fill in the blanks. We saw the draw it. There's open-ended questions you could do. You could add quiz if you wanted to do a quiz. You could do collaborate. But in general, there's just so many things you can do with this that it really doesn't have a ton of limitations in its uses. So we'll go back to that. If you find something that you like, you can add it to your library. I used an example. I added one about life skills, talking about stress for K through 5. And so this is a place where you can hold like curriculum that you want to keep track of and ones that you made, like the ones I made here. So really, I think it's a pretty cool thing. My experience with it was pretty user-friendly. I found that its strengths were just how versatile it really was. I think the only weakness is maybe getting the kids comfortable with using it and following like the directions on the page, especially if they're younger. If they can't read yet, written directions might be more difficult. I think that would be something that would be easily cured by having conversations about what the expectations are or what part you're working on. So I would definitely use this tool in my classroom. I think it is a great resource.